Welcome to Premium Picks. Today we are going to break down UFC 288. That is Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo. Before we do that, we'll do just a quick recap on Saturday night's card, Song versus Simon, or Ricky Simone, sorry. We did good. We did really good. Our conservative picks went 5 for 6, and our high-risk picks went 8 for 10. Underdog picks went 4 for 4. So we were bang on. The only one we really got wrong was the main event, and we were flip-flopping on it the whole time. Like, we knew that it could go either way. We said Song by knockout or Simone by decision. So, I mean, all in all, we did good. Bare knuckle was pretty exciting as we thought it was. Rockhold got knocked out like we thought he would. I had a fun Saturday night. A-Train, what'd you think?
Yeah, the underdog picks were nice. I wish I put more money where my mouth was, though. Like, I wish I laid a lot more on Durden. He looked pretty dominant for like at least 2.5 rounds. Charles Johnson let him do whatever he wants. What was the other girl? I called that the Alexieva on Egger. It's not that she looked good. It's just like typical women's MMA for you, buddy. That knee bar didn't even look that great, but she tapped in like 3 seconds. So that was a good one. I wish I put more on that. And I did flip the Song. I watched some training video after we did, and I watched some interviews where he said all he did was train wrestling for this, and he looked good. I had a pretty decent sized bet on Song, on 3 unit bet on Song, mixed in there with Kai Barallo, who dominated that fight too. So for me, my night came down to those two. So all in all, I had a pretty good night, so I can't lie. Song looked good. Song looked better than he has. He looked better than that Kyler Phillips fight, and he looks like if he can stay on that kind of track with that kind of training with Uriah Faber, he might be up there for the championship at some point if he can actually get his shit together. But yeah, Song looked really good.
Yeah, he looked great. All right, UFC 288. Let's get into it. First up on the first prelim of the night, we have Daniel Santos versus Johnny Munhoz Jr. This is actually a good fight. I think it's going to be an exciting fight, and it's competitive. It's not an obvious pick here. They both have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts, so they're both going to be good at grappling. I think Santos has a pretty significant edge on the feet. I feel like he's the better striker. So I think if he can keep it standing, I do give the edge to Santos. Not betting it. First fight of the night, not going crazy here. I think this card has a lot of good spots for betting.
Oh, yeah.
I got Santos. What do you got?
So when Munoz can get the takedown, it looks like he looks pretty dominant in his wins. It's 2-0 when he can get a very good takedown on his opponent. He makes it look really dominant. It's not close at all. His wrestling's not great though, probably. So 25% takedown accuracy. Santos is more of the striker. He's got the takedown defense of 57%, not great, but as he showed at his last fight with John Castaneda, he can get taken down and he gets back up, and the power does carry through the rounds. So he's not one of those guys like that lose that power after the round one. He keeps going. But you know what? He is a little bit low volume. That's the only problem. Now this comes down to the takedown and Munoz being able to hold down Santos. Uh Castaneda can do it, and he's a much better wrestler than Munoz. I mean, Munoz has got good controlling jiu-jitsu. That's what I give him, but he has to get the fight down there first. I think Santos will be able to pop up. I think Munoz will get some takedowns, maybe one, maybe two, but I think Santos will pop up a couple times, end up finishing this fight by KO. So KO decision is my pick for Daniel Santos.
Yeah, I like it. Sorry, actually, I have to call out your outfit choice here. It takes balls wearing a jet sweater. I like it. I like it.
Want to see something funny? Hold on. My boy Aaron.
I love it. I love it. I like that. That's a loyal
I'm a
fan
Packers
right there.
fan through and through, but I love that guy as long as he played for us. So that's a little bit of a tribute to him on both ends of the stick here.
I like that. I like that. All right, moving up. The next prelim, we have Joseph Holmes versus Claudio Ribeiro. Holmes is absolutely massive for the division, but he doesn't use his size overly well, doesn't control the distance that great. Holmes should also have the grappling advantage. Like, on paper, this looks like Holmes could win this fight, but I think Claudio Ribeiro is going to knock him out. Claudio Ribeiro, 10-3, 3 or 4 inches shorter. Hits like a truck though. 10-3 with 10 knockouts. Every win by knockout. Sorry, on the other side too, 8-3. Holmes, also all finishes. Neither of these guys have won a fight by decision. So all finishes on both sides. I'm choosing Claudio Ribeiro to get in the pocket and knock out Holmes. Low level fight. I haven't seen a ton of either of them. So I'm not, I don't think I'm going to be betting this fight. I think I'm just going to enjoy it. But I feel pretty good that Claudio should knock out Joseph Holmes. That's my take. I think he's going to knock out Holmes. I think conservatively, you say this fight's not going the distance. They're both finishers. Someone's going to finish each other. I got Ribeiro. What do you got?
So Holmes in his last 2 losses was outworked once by the Iron Turtle, which isn't so bad. John Young Park outworks a lot of people. But Jamie Pickett outworking you on the ground and everything like that and up against the cage, that's gross. Jamie Pickett's not a good fighter. He let him outwork him. That's a problem. He does his best work on the ground, like you said, but his wrestling and his jiu-jitsu are mediocre at best. Takedown accuracy of about 37%, and he gets taken down at 55%, which is pretty gross. If you ask me, Ribeiro, whatever you want to call him, he's 1-0. He lost to that KO to Al Razak Al Hassan in his first fight. Actually looked pretty good. Decent striker, 19 strikes, and that only went to about the second minute of the second round. So most of that happened in the first round. So he threw about 19 strikes in the first round, which is good. Showed really good power, actually really good low kicks, right? And Joseph Holmes, like you said, is a taller, more lankier fighter. Stands really straight up, leaves that leg out there to be chop, chop, chop. I think Ribeiro is going to chop him away pretty easily. Holmes gets hit way too easy, like you said, as well. So, but he does have that 80-inch reach, but doesn't use it. That's my problem with him. If he was like John Jones, knew how to use his reach, then, that'd be better. He leaves himself open up way too much. The leg kicks are going to open up the finish, I believe. He's going to go low. Holmes is eventually going to try to block low. And I feel like the left kick high to the face will spell the night for Holmes. Ribeiro's minus 200. Not a great price for a knockout guy. But I don't think he's going to put any kind of pressure on him to warrant the plus 180 play on him. So, yeah, I got Claudio here.
All right, there you have it. Moving on to the next prelim, we have back from retirement, Zhalgas Zulmagulov versus Rafael Estevam. Call me crazy. I kind of like the dog here. I think Zhalgas is better than people think. He gets screwed on decisions all the time. I'm certainly not betting him, though. The problem is judges hate his style. Like, clearly they see something they don't like in him because he never gets the nod. But I think this is a competitive fight. Not betting it. I mean, it's hard to bet against an undefeated 11-0 prospect, especially, like I said, Zhalgas has been losing, but I don't know. I think it's a very competitive fight. I wouldn't blame anyone for taking the dog here. This is a pass for me. For me, it's a pass or like an over. I think it's going to be a over drawn out fight that will be competitive. That's how I see it. What do you see?
Well, Zhalgas, he's that plodding striker, very low volume. Opponents outstrike him at least by 1 or 2 strikes per minute. His takedown accuracy for being an OV, he's only at 19%. That's pretty bad. Defense 68%, not great, but not bad at all. So Estevam, he's a fucking chain wrestler, man. And I watched his last fight and he just went at it. The fight would probably stay standing based on the numbers. And he's shown a good chin, Zhalgas, as well. So only KO was to Manal Kopp. I believe that was it. Manal Kopp's the only guy that knocked him out. Other than that, he's getting split decisioned up his ass. Estevam is well-rounded from what I saw. 2 takedowns in his first fight. He outstruck the opponent, but the other guy didn't have much for him. He set a pace that could not be stopped by that guy. Guy had good jiu-jitsu, but he just kept coming and coming and coming. But he didn't get hit too hard. Zhalgas is probably going to touch him up at least once here, but he never follows up behind it. That's the problem. I see Estevam setting a pace opposite to Zhalgas. Good pressure. The jits and the defense is good. So if he does somehow get him on the ground, then I think he controls him for at least a little bit of that round. Estevam will have to establish his grappling and will have to stay more busy than Zhalgas, because if this stays on the feet, I don't know what Estevan's striking really does look like. And that's the red flag, right? You don't really know what it looks like. But, based on his grappling and what much of a pace that he sets, you're hoping that he sets the same pace standing up, right? So that's my thing. So I feel like this fight's going to stay standing because they're not going to get each other to the ground. And then it's going to be like who throws more volume. And from what I've seen from Zalgas, he doesn't throw any volume. And that's where it becomes a little bit weird. I'm going to pick Estevan minus 155. Uh, but you know what? If Zalgas stops the takedown and, he was more technical, striking, I don't know, man. Judges hate this guy. He could win the fight and still lose it. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Estevan because he makes so much comments against the judging. I feel like they just hold it against him now.
All right. Moving on, we have Ikram Aliskerov versus Phil Hawes. Ikram 13-1 with his only loss being getting knocked out by Chimaev. So no big red flags on him, I guess. Phil Hawes 12-4, Olympic wrestler, like a freak athlete made of absolute glass. I have won a lot of money in the past betting against Phil Hawes. Like I always feel like this guy's going to get knocked out in every single fight. I always feel like that. Seems like it always happens. The thing here, though, is Ikram is not a knockout guy. He's not a power puncher. Like if Hawes is fighting anyone with power, I'm picking against Phil Hawes. Here, he's fighting a grappler. So Hawes should be able to keep this standing or at least be the guy on top. I mean, he's a freak athlete. Hawes is not a terrible underdog here, to be honest. Like I said, I would never trust this guy at all. Like, man, he always seems like he's gassing or he's made of glass, whatever it is. I wouldn't trust him with my money.
That chin, man.
Yeah, absolute glass chin. So like I said, I would never trust him with my money. But if there's ever a time where he's not a terrible pick, it's here because just the styles. Ikram's not a power puncher, so he shouldn't get, if he gets knocked out here, like this guy's done. Like he can't take a punch from anyone if he can't take a punch here. So plus 180 on Phil Hawes, not bad. Like I said, I wouldn't put my money on him though. So I can't trust him with my money. If anything, I'd say the safe pick is the fight doesn't go the distance. It's a Phil Hawes fight. Somebody's getting finished. Phil Hawes doesn't have cardio to go 3 rounds. Someone's going down. It's a pass for me. What do you see?
Well, like you said, Hawes is a good wrestler. Division 1 NCAA champion. He has a power striking style, but he tends to get tired as the fight goes on, in my eyes. And when he does, his chin becomes more susceptible. He gets finished. All his losses, he's been finished. So if he's going to lose this one to Ikram, it's probably Ikram inside the distance, right? So he doesn't lose decisions. If he is getting decisions because he can hold you up against the wall, which he did to Imavov, he can just like control you. And I think it was Dawkins or who he beat. I'm pretty sure. Kyle Dawkins, the younger one, I'm pretty sure. And it's because he controls. So then he'll win a decision, but he won't be getting knocked out. So his takedown accuracy is about 36. I don't see him wasting his energy on takedowns, but his defense is 100%. He's never been taken down in the UFC. That's good because Ikram's a pressure forward fighter, close the distance with shitty, wild shots, striking wise, and then he tries to go in and hit those double legs or those takedowns off the crappy, wild striking he has. He showed me no technical abilities, but he does have a propensity to finish once he gets the fight to the ground. He goes for the sub right away, submission over position. And he has a chin, so he can't get hit. But can he get hit? Has he ever been hit by someone with Phil Hawes' power? I know Phil Hawes isn't technical. I know he's not yet, but he's got God-given ability of power. So has this guy, I've seen this guy get hit in his tape by lesser fighters. So I don't know if he can take that Phil Hawes. That's where it gets a little bit chalky here. So I feel like Ikram's gotta hold him up against the cage, zap that gas tank. And when he zaps that gas tank or gets Phil a little tired, that's when the takedowns might come, right? Because his takedown accuracy on his one fight is only 33%. It was one of 3, I would believe, but he finished it once he got there. So it's a little skewed. Hawes is still sports that 100% takedown defense, which is in the back of my mind. But I feel like this guy is an Ov, and I take their wrestling chops really seriously and their control chops really seriously. I'm going to say, based on my Phil Hawes knowledge, he gets held up against the fence for a few rounds, maybe a round and a half, gets his gas tank zapped, and he'll give up that one takedown. And once he does, he won't have the energy to stop what happens next. Ikram inside the distance, more I would say more likely leading to a submission. Second round, 302 if you want to play an SGP.
There you have it. Inside the distance, I think for sure. For whoever wins, it's going to be inside the distance. Moving on, we got a heavyweight slobber knocker. Parker Porter versus Braxton Smith. This is going to look like extremely low-level MMA here. Parker Porter is fresh off that knockout loss to Tafa, but Tafa hits like a truck. Braxton Smith, maybe he's similar. I don't know. We don't really know what we're getting here with Braxton Smith. We have a short, stocky, heavy-hitting heavyweight. We know that, but we don't know how good is his striking. Is he as good as Tafa? Probably not. I would say hell no. So Smith has a chance to win by knockout early. I guess that's the only chance I give him, because the more drawn out the fight goes, I think Parker Porter will have the better skill set. So he'll start to edge him out in a Parker Porter boring heavyweight fashion. So I think Parker Porter wins this fight. Smith has the chance to starch him early. It's a pass for me. This is just a very, very sloppy fight to me. How do you see it?
Well, Smith is the debutante, so there's the first red flag. But those red flags didn't come to fruition this weekend when Trey Waters and friggin' the other guy Padilla came out and just like knocked shit out. Like those guys look good. So I guess that it goes to a fight basis. 5-0, all KOs. Porter is the more well-rounded heavyweight. The problem is he has no KO power. He's able to control you if he can get you down, but nobody knows if he can get this guy down. This guy is short and stocky. They're the hardest guys to get down, right? So he'll have to ride out a decision if I think he's going to win, or this guy gets tired. So, and then Parker can finish it. So a sneaky under 1.5, both ways. You could do that. But his two TKO losses came by Dawkins boom punch and then Tafa boom punch. That's what this guy does well. Braxton Smith, I watched a few of his fights. He has that one punch KO power. It's what Porter doesn't have. So you know what? I think this is a stupid pick, but I think that Porter is gonna think that he's better than this guy, and this guy is just gonna just hit him. Because that's what happened against Tafa, that's what happened against Dawkins. This guy's just gonna come out of nowhere, hit him one time, plus 155 on low level heavyweight. That's my pick. I'm just gonna stick with it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, I hope that happens, because I don't want to watch 3 rounds Parker Porter fucking boring
laying on a guy.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. So I hope this short-looking Carlton knocks him out, man.
Yeah, this guy looked all right. I mean, he had the cock back the cannon, and just this last fight I watched it, just like floored the guy. So I don't know. Who knows? Porter's no good, right? So if like anyone with like that was more athletic, I would be like all over him to kill this guy. But you know, I think they're gonna fight sort of the same.
Yeah. Heavyweight fight, low level. Don't throw a lot of money on that one. That's for sure. Moving on, we got a good women's fight. We have Marina Rodrigues versus Virna Jandiroba. Really good fight. Sneaky, hard to predict, because I know on Tapology, 91% of people are on Marina. I am as well. I'm a big Marina fan. But honestly, Jandiroba could grind her. Like if there's one way to beat Marina, it's to take her down and like just kill the clock and out grapple her. And that has been done. I think on the feet, Marina's as good as pretty much anyone. I mean, she hits pretty hard. She's got some good snap on her punches. She knocked out Amanda Hebus, but Hebus is chinny. But Rodrigues is very good on the feet. She's good. She should have all the advantage on the feet. But like I said, Jandiroba's tough. She's got some dog in her. So she does have a path to grind. I'm on Marina. I do have Marina on one of my parlays. I'm just not super confident. It is a women's fight, and like I said, styles make fights. So I don't know. I like Marina. Big fan. I'm rooting for her. A little bit nervous for her, but I like her here. What do you see?
Yeah, Marina's the better striker by far. Like it's not even close. I mean, Werner Jandiroba, or Rob Schneider, what I like to call her sometimes. She has she does, man. She looks just
I just saw it now, yeah.
I call her Rob Schneider sometimes. But anyway, her striking's got better. If you watch from her first fight to her Murata fight, like the striking has gotten a little bit more technical, a lot more crisper. So she's not lost on the feet. And even that fight she had with Mackenzie Dern, uh, she lost it, but she didn't look quite that bad actually. I thought she was gonna get like Mackenzie's got better striking than her, but like it wasn't that far apart. Anyway, I mean, takedown defense is 66% for Marina, which I found actually pretty good. So most of those takedowns she got were against Esparza. There was five takedowns in that fight. That is the bulk of how when she got taken down. She got taken down by Michelle Watterson for that one round, get held down, but didn't get taken down again after that. So you can hold her down and you'll be scared while she's on the ground. But again, she got taken down by Mackenzie Dern, and Mackenzie Dern is like an A1 jiu-jitsu player, probably better, the only person I would say better than Verna on the ground. And Mackenzie didn't tap her. So like that bodes well for your pick on Marina. So if Verna does get her down, um, she won't tap her right away, I don't think. So there is a chance that Marina has there. So Verna's takedown accuracy is about 38%. It's not great. So that bodes again well for Marina. Marina can lose to good wrestlers, but Verna has shown that she has to grind it out, like you said. So if she wants to hold her up against the side of the cage or something like that, that may be the way for Verna to actually win this fight. But if Marina stays off the ground, she should win a striking battle, just like she did against Mackenzie Dern. And yeah, I'm gonna go with Marina on this. Minus 150 isn't bad. Verna at one plus 130. I'm not gonna kill anyone for taking the shot on her. She is live. If she gets the takedown, but if she gets the takedown, she'll have to get one takedown in each round. I don't think she'll finish Marina on the ground. I think she's been training the jiu-jitsu. She looked okay against Mackenzie, and Mackenzie got her down, and that's where I'm hoping that she'll win 2 out of 3 rounds on the feet. So I also think the over is hitting this because Verna's a dog at the same time. So go with that.
All right, should be a good one. Moving on, we have Chaos Williams versus Rolando Bedoya. Williams should spark him. Okay, I mean, this is going to be a stand-up fight. Chaos Williams definitely has the power. The only thing I don't like with Chaos is I have watched a couple fights where his output was just like non-existent. I think it was the Michel Pereira fight or whatever when he fought Mikel or whatever, Michel, however you say his name. He didn't do anything that fight. And I bet money on him that fight. I was expecting him to finally knock this guy out finally.
I think he was worried about the power coming back at him, right? So that was my thing. That's what I think. That's why he was a little gun shy on that one.
When guys lose me money, it just sticks in your head and it just gives you that like, fuck, do I bet on this guy again? So I did lose money on him on that fight. That was like 2 years ago or something. I don't even remember when that fight was. But so that's what sticks in my head is the low output. I know he has power. I know he has knockouts. I know Bedoya is not good. So everything says this is a chaos win. But at minus 330, like I don't know, man. I'm not laying them at minus 330. Maybe if you go the knockout route or like you pick a prop or something like that, maybe that can make sense. But yeah, Chaos Williams definitely the pick. I'm not betting it, but he should win this fight. He should win this fight. You betting it or what do you think?
I'm not gonna overthink this one. Bedoya's debut, but this is a different type of debut. This is like a guy coming off the regional scene. Chaos coming off a loss to Randy, where Randy just, Randy got knocked down that fight. I don't even know how Randy won that fight, to be honest with you. I thought Chaos actually won that fight. So Randy won it based on volume, I would guess. So it's the way to beat him. Chaos is the one with the more experience. He's the one with the better resume. He sports a 75% takedown defense. So this guy isn't taking him down if he wants to, if he's getting touched up on the feet. This is going to stay on the feet, right? And Chaos has got a great chin. He's fought some power punchers while he's been in the UFC, and he's not shown any propensity to be chinny or knocked down or anything like that. I feel like he has okay volume. I feel like the volume sometimes is really good, and the volume sometimes I think it always depends on the other guy on the other side, right? Now, I don't think he's going to think too much of this Bedoya kid, and he's going to come out with a decent volume. When Chaos was decent volume, I'm talking like 80 strikes, right? Because against I forgot who it was. It was Smellsberger and somebody else. He threw about 80 strikes, which isn't bad. That'll win him a fight. He'll win him this fight, I'll tell you that. Because he hits harder. It'll look more like damaging to the judges because they are judging damage more than they are like pitter patter volume nowadays. So Bedoya though, I did look at his last fight against Horst. I can't remember the guy's name. His striking looked real sloppy, but he does have a gas tank, comes right at you. But I feel like you can do that on the regional scene. But if you come right at Chaos, you're going to get a cannon right back in your face, right? So he needs more time, but he might be something. If Chaos stays technical, in my opinion, this is a gimme to him from the UFC. I think the 290, I'm getting it at minus 295. And if I can keep that price, that's a lock to me to throw on a parlay, multiple parlays. I like Chaos Williams a lot here. I feel like this is just made for him. UFC gives their guys some fights sometimes, and I feel like this is one of them. Like Trey Waters' fight last week, that wasn't a gimme for Quinlan. And the same can be said for Marcus McGee versus Journey Newsom. Those weren't gimmies. And they're not established like Chaos has been established in the division. Chaos was winning fights, knocking out Al Hassan, knocking out Morono, like beating Smellsberger. You know what I mean? So yeah, Chaos is the experienced guy, should kick his ass.
Yeah, he should knock him out. Honestly, if he just went berserk, I think he scores the knockout whenever he wants.
He's too technical. He's too technical. He stays way too technical. If you ever watch him, even against Al Hassan and those guys, he was way too technical. He won't go nuts.
Like you said, he's got power and a chin. So fuck, man, give the fans what we want. Put it on him. All right, moving on. We have a much more confident, for me, a more confident fight. We have Devin Clark versus Kennedy. Not going to say his name right. Njekwu or something. I don't know, but
Njekwu.
We all know who he is. He's very big. Yeah, he's very big. He's very good. He's only getting better. He's actually looking a lot better these days. I think Kennedy rolls here. Like I don't see any path to victory for Devin Clark here. Devin Clark is a decent wrestler, pretty good wrestling. If he can get on top of you, he can win. But he's chinny, and I don't think he's going to be able to grapple fuck Kennedy here. So I think Kennedy rolls here. I think Kennedy is going to be better everywhere. I think if they really want to grapple, I think Kennedy will be fine. And on the feet, Kennedy should blast Devin Clark, I think. So I have Kennedy in a few parlays. I like him here. And yeah, to me, Devin Clark's really chinny. I don't trust Devin Clark at all. I like Kennedy. What do you think?
Well, the reach and the height, the reach and the height go to Kennedy for sure. He's a big, long guy, right? And what I've seen in his past two fights against Kudalaba and Roberson, clean striking, power, accuracy, and he's shown the propensity to come back when put up against like losing a round. He comes back hard. He did that against Carlos Ulberg. Cost me money against Carlos Ulberg. Because now look what Carlos Ulberg actually is, what I thought he was going to be. Kennedy beat that guy after getting blasted for 2 rounds, just came back in the third. So that's Kennedy does, right? So even if he's losing, he can win. So he's always in there. He's getting better and he's growing. Clark has to get this to the mat to win, but Kennedy has an 80% takedown defense. So I feel like this isn't going to get to the ground. And if he does, he's going to pop right back up. His accuracy is 35%. So again, I don't think this gets to the ground. If this fight stays on the feet, I think Kennedy by KO is on the table. Kennedy by submission, probably not. So KO decision, but I don't think it's going to decision. Kennedy by KO, minus 205, Kennedy money line. Clark can be had for plus 175. I just think the takedown defense is too good on Kennedy. I would pretty much put him up against with Chaos Williams as my second lock on this card. I'm going to have those two as a base of a couple parlays and add upon that. Maybe just do one big safety parlay, but I'm pretty safe on those two picks.
Yeah, I feel really good about that one as well. Moving on, we have, in my opinion, the most exciting fight of the night. Like it's not relevancy, but it's going to be a fun barn burner. Drew Dober versus Matt Frevola. Guys, these guys are bangers. That's the only way to put it. These guys are absolute bangers. They both possess huge knockout power. And they both sounds weird. They both are kind of chinny, but not kind of chinny. Like, I don't know, like Dober doesn't get knocked out, but he gets dropped every single fight. So eventually that massive chin's going to get broken. like he's due to get knocked out. Dober's on a bit of a heater lately, and I love the guy. So I'm happy. I'm happy he's been winning. And Matt Frevola has been KO'd quick a few times. So, I mean, I think the whole world's picking Drew Dober. Matt Frevola has a chance, though. I'm telling you, Drew Dober is due to get his lights put out sooner than later. I'll still probably roll up with Drew Dober, but my pick would be fight does not go the distance. Like if you want to be conservative, you want to for sure make some money, just pick the fight doesn't go the distance. Somebody is getting knocked out here. 100% somebody's getting knocked out. I think they're both live for that knockout. I'll pick Drew Dober. Fight does not go the distance. No submissions here. Knockouts only.
Yep.
That's how I see it. What do you see?
Well, Dober's not taking anyone down. Favola, I would, when he first started in the UFC, I thought he was a wrestler, to be honest with you. But his last two fights, he showed that he's not a wrestler because he went after these guys. Dober's takedown defense is 55%, which ain't actually like, I thought it would be worse. I thought he was in like the fucking 30% range, but that's okay. He is a striker, true and true. He has good get-ups when he does get taken down, and he has an amazing chin. Jay Leno has a huge chin, and so does Drew Dober. They both have huge chins. Oh, yeah. And the hard, what's it called here? Frevola used to employ his grappling, like I said, back in the day. He had 4 apiece in his 2 earlier fights in the UFC. Then he came up against Arman Tsarukyan, and Tsarukyan took him down 12 times in that fight. So I feel like that just like pissed him off that like someone out wrestled him. So he doesn't wrestle anymore. McKinney starched him right after that. And then he won these 2 fights in a row, one against Valdez. That fight was a firefight. And he really showed me something at Ottman Azatar there. I thought I gave Ottman a good shot at beating Frevola in that fight. And Frevola showed me that he'd even make Ottman look like a newbie here. Difference here, Dober will come back from being hurt. That's my thing. So Frevola, he's been starching guys in the first round. I feel like he's going to get in love with that. So he's going to go right after Dober in that first round. He might even get him hurt. But Dober was hurt against McKinney, came back and won. Dober was hurt against Bobby Green, came back and won. He only lost to Riddell, which was pretty razor thin, if you ask me. If he didn't get a little bit rocked in that last round by that Riddell punch, he probably would have won that decision because he was right there. And he lost to Makhachev and Dariush. Come on. So it's only been the best of the best. Frevola is not the best of the best in the division. He's actually a step down for Dober. So I feel like Dober rolls here. It's not going to be pretty, though, like you said. This will be maybe Frevola dropping him and Dober coming back. Fight doesn't go as pretty safe, but I'd look at the Dober KO, see what it's at. Anything better than plus 250, I throw a couple bucks on it, maybe.
He's not going to be plus 250 on a knockout. He's already a pretty big favorite, I think.
Only minus 210.
I'd be surprised if he's plus 120 by knockout.
Yeah, but then you might as well take the money line at that point, right? Like you're only getting half back more than that. Like, you know what I mean? So right now you get half your money on the money line. Then you can't take the plus 100 where you get double. Like you can make your money back. Is it worth it? That shit to happen? I don't know. That's the way I look at things like that. Because I lost on Quinlan this weekend, and Quinlan to win the fight was like minus 190, but Quinlan knockout only was minus 225. I should have went with the knockout only, right? Because that was his one path to victory, and it voids the bet if it goes to a fucking decision. So it would have won me a 10 fucking legger. That sucks. What can you do?
Well, either way, honestly, guys, I think that's going to be definitely the most exciting prelim, and it's going to be one of the most exciting fights of the night. I think that has bonus written all over it. Definitely going to enjoy it. I'm a fan of both of them. Really like Drew Dober, so hopefully Dober keeps the knockout streak going. All right, moving on to the main card, we have Kron Gracie versus Charles Jourdain. This is a decent fight. It's kind of strange that it's on the main card, actually, to be honest. Gracie has not been active at all. I don't believe he's fought in the last 2 years.
And four.
There you go. 4 years. And he was Bellator last, wasn't he?
I don't know. No, he fought Caceres, right? Was it Caceres? Okay. I'll look it up while you're doing your breakdown.
All right. I'm not betting on someone who hasn't fought in 4 years, so I'm on Charles all day. For the longest time, I never thought Charles was that good. Like if you asked me a few years ago, I was like, this guy is kind of overrated, but he's actually gotten better. Charles Jourdain's not a bad fighter anymore. He used to be strictly just a striker, like a decent striker, volume guy, but he choked out Lando Venata there, I think, last fight, and he finished that fight pretty quickly. I think Charles is only getting better. Gracie hasn't been active. Sure, I mean, any Gracie's always going to be live for a submission, but I got Charles here. I'm not betting on a Gracie who hasn't fought in 4 years to snatch a submission. This isn't the olden days where guys don't know how to defend submissions. I mean, I don't see Gracie doing anything here. So the pick is going to be Charles. I'm not bet. I think I might have Charles on one parlay. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't bet big on him because, like I said, he's not great. And with Gracie, we don't really know what we're getting. But there's just no way I could pick someone who hasn't fought in 4 years. So I got Charles. I got Charles to beat him up. What do you think?
So Jourdain, like you said, decent striker, comes forward, has decent power in his hands, but he sports a takedown defense of less than 50% and an accuracy of 16%. But he's not taking anyone down in this fight per se. Kron's a one-trick pony with takedown accuracy of 25%, which isn't great. Jourdain fights way more often, way more experienced. Kron did fight, was October of 2019 against Cub Swanson was his last fight. But the weak takedown defense of Jourdain will always have you. Jourdain should win all day, so his money line's a good bet. But I mean, I don't mind rolling the dice. But my minus 170 on Jourdain, it's so like you couldn't beat Bao, you drew him, and like he's lost me some money. Like you said, things like that always stick out in your mind. Jourdain's lost me a few dollars sometimes, so I'm not so hot to go pick Jourdain all the time. Kron at 145 stinks, right? Because of the 4-year layoff. But I don't know when that's sub prop. Kron's 5-0 or 5-1 or whatever he is, all 5 by submission. So stabbing the Kron by sub prop, even though you think Jourdain might win, ain't so bad. So, like, because he's the underdog, you might still get a good price on a Gracie for a sub. If you get like plus 500 because he's the underdog, I would snatch a try on it. He has no other path to victory, right? So, Jourdain, yes, I'm not high on it, but I'm more interested in the sub prop for Kron Gracie. Just if it's high enough and I can put like a 10er or a 20 on that and just like let something ride out for that, I don't mind.
I'm surprised it's on the main card. I mean, even Marina Rodriguez fight has more relevancy to the division.
You know what they do? They do that last prelim before the main card or the last couple prelims before the main card. They try to put bangers on there. They want you to buy their main card, right? So that's what they're doing. They'll put bangers on there. You're like, oh yeah, buy the fucking main card. And then Kron Gracie and Jourdain show up. You're like, what the fuck is this? But you never know. Flying armbar or something. He's a Gracie at the end of the day, right? Who knows? I saw that Marcus McGee or one of those guys. It was a jump knee into a rear naked choke. Some guy jumped knee and took the guy's back in midair, and it's pretty crazy shit going on right nowadays.
All right. Well, strange fight. We both got Charles. Moving on, we got Movsar Evloev versus Bryce Mitchell. This is a good fight, but it's probably going to be a long one. This is a grappler versus a grappler. You got to think Movsar is the better striker, but he's really not a huge striker himself. Like, I think Movsar is the submission grappler. Mitchell's maybe the better wrestler, maybe. But Bryce shoots from a distance. Like, he can be very telegraphic. So I think I favor Movsar everywhere here, I think. I have seen Movsar taken down a few times. So I think there's a world where Bryce Mitchell can take him down a few times. But I think, like, grappling wise, Evloev, I think, should be fine. Like, he should be able to scramble. He should be able to, I think, get the better. I don't know. It's going to be, grappling is going to be tricky. I think Movsar's a little bit better, a little bit stronger. And I think he's going to be a little bit better on the feet as well. Bryce Mitchell is coming back after a terrible performance against Ilia Topuria. Topuria is a beast, though. Topuria is an absolute beast. Honestly, that guy, I questioned him before that last fight. After that fight, I'm like, man, this guy might be the next champ. Like,
I had him all day. I had him from his first fight when he was a plus money underdog to that guy. He's one of those guys that you just know has the it factor when they come in, right?
Yeah, man, I think that guy has title contender at least written all over him.
Oh,
so
fuck yeah.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see where that will go. I want to see Topuria fight this Evloev. I think that fight was supposed to happen, and somebody pulled out. I forget that fight.
Evloev, I think it was Evloev.
That fight was definitely scheduled. That would have been a good one too, because yeah. But either way, here I have Mavsar. I have him in a few parlays, and I like Bryce Mitchell. So it pains me to say that. I like this funny, weird, flat earther hillbilly guy. I actually do like Bryce Mitchell, but I don't think he's got. I don't think he has much of a chance here. I don't know what he can do. Like, to me, for him to win this fight, he's going to have to lay on him for 3 rounds, and I just don't think that's going to happen. So I have Mavsar, and I think that this will be an over kind of fight. I don't really see a finish here. If there's a finish, it's probably a submission, but I think Mavsar and over would be my choice. That's how I see it. What do you think?
Well, Bryce is gifted in the grappling range, but the striking leaves something to be desired. He only like attempt landed per minute is like 2.48 strikes per minute is what he lands. Mavsar, I find low level. I'm not low level, sorry, low volume, and he lands 4.3 strikes per minute. And I think Mavsar is a low volume kind of striker. His takedown accuracy, Bryce 44%, defense 33%. He always needs to take down to win the fight. And Evloev's a good wrestler. I feel like worst case scenario or best case scenario is going to use that wrestling in reverse, keep this fight standing. And he's not, like I said, the most active striker, but he's a better striker than Bryce Mitchell is. He's a way better striker than Bryce Mitchell. And sometimes you might say, oh, well, he gets tired in the third round and he has that propensity to get taken down. But that's because he's out wrestling these guys in rounds 1 and 2, like hardcore. His last 2 fights, he's had 9 takedowns in each fight. That means people are getting up. And Bryce, if he gets taken down, probably will get up. But, that's his takedown defense is 70%, which is decent. So that's 3 out of every 4 takedowns pretty much getting stuffed. And he has a 50% accuracy. That's really good if you think about how much of a chain wrestler he is, right? So chain wrestlers are going after it all the time. So every time you might have 4 takedown attempts, but he's still averaging about 50%. Chain wrestlers usually average about 35%, 30%-ish. So that's really good for a wrestler. So 50% takedown accuracy. I think Bryce needs a takedown to win. I don't think takedown is going to come. He's going to get wrestled in reverse, and this is going to be kept standing. Evloev will have a tad more volume than Bryce because Bryce wings wild punches, has no technical punching behind him. And he'll win a clean decision. It'll look closer than it actually is. Evloev is minus 255, but like 95% of his wins have been decisions. So I feel like Evloev decision will get, if you get any plus money on that, throw out a single on that. I like that. Throw him in at minus 255 on the parlays. I feel like him coupled with Kennedy and Chaos is my stack for now.
Yeah, like I think conservative like lock is it's going over 1.5. I think it's going over 2.5, but Evloev all day
yeah.
is that's definitely the pick. All right, moving on. We got a fun women's fight. We got Jessica Andrade versus Chanan Yan. I know we're on opposite sides here, and most people are on Jessica, and that's, hey, I get it. Jessica is one of the most exciting women fighters out there, and for the simple reason that she is a true finisher. You don't see too many women with that high finishing rate, that finishing ability. She is true kill or be killed. When she loses, she goes out on her sword. Yeah, I like Jessica. No disrespect towards her here. I got Yan. I have not seen Yan get outstruck in a fight yet. And I thought she got maybe not robbed, but I thought she beat Marina. I thought she was beating Marina up on the feet. I think that was a split decision loss she got there. She got, like I said, I thought she got robbed. And I'm high on Marina Rodriguez. So I like Yan to outstrike her here. And I think when Jessica loses, it's usually she gets finished. So I dare I say I like Yan to knock her out? I kind of do, but I wouldn't be betting on the prop. She's already plus money. So I'm on Yan here, and I feel pretty good about it. Again, it's women's fights, so I don't know. I guess I feel as good as I could, but I do have her on some parlays. I have her on a couple of those YOLO parlays. I have her winning this fight. I think Jessica needs a takedown, and I'm not sure if she's even going to shoot. She's probably more than capable of it. She's strong, so she probably could, but I don't know if she I don't know if that's really in her. She likes to stand and bang, and I don't think it's in her best interest here. So I'm picking Jessica to get beat up on the feet. That's how I'm picking the underdog. Uh, I know you're on the Jessica side. Do you think she's gonna beat her up on the feet, or you think she's gonna take her down, or what do you think?
Well, I did like after we were on opposite sides when we first talked. I ran the tape, but you don't have to run tape for these girls. There's a lot like I've watched their last few fights, and they fought relatively like recently, so I don't need to know that. Yan, the volume striker, of course, she has pretty good takedown accuracy, which is 66%. But I don't see her taking down Jessica, who has a takedown defense of 73%. Her takedown defense isn't bad at 70%, so she's shucking off 3 out of every 4. And Jessica, 54% is not bad. I guess saying that she's a power takedown artist, right? More that's not technical. She uses her grit, strength, bulliness to take down girls like that. So her last two Jan's last two losses Esparza, where she got finished, which is weird. Getting finished by Esparza is a bad look in my eyes, right? Like she didn't finish Marina, she didn't finish nobody. So that's a bad look. Like I don't think she'd finish Andrade. Esparza might get her down, but I don't know if she'd finish her. But it's tough to face that volume, from Yan. But Andrade is a power striker, like you said, but she has that propensity to throw volume. So when fights that she's not stopping the other party, which is like the Shevchenko Rose, the Wang she got stopped in, the Tisha Torres fight, Lauren Murphy fight. No, she's throwing mad strikes. Lauren Murphy fight, she landed 201 strikes. That's
Yeah, that
fucking unreal. Against Rose, she lost that fight and landed about 80, right? 85, which is pretty good. Against Tisha Torres, she landed about 90-ish. So to say that she doesn't have volume, like I know Jan's throwing volume too. She's around the same clip as Andrade, they're 90-ish to 100-ish, which is a good clip for anybody, man or woman. Doesn't matter who you are. That's a pretty good clip for a 3-round fight. My problem is nowadays judging the power striking. If you're throwing at the same volume as the other person, they really lean to power strikers a lot more nowadays. And I feel like the fight will be very even, like you said, very even. So the overs are in play. I don't think Jan's going to get knocked down or out here, even though Jessica does that. She has that Lauren Murphy type mentality. She's there to fight. Jan's been bounced a couple times. I remember against Marina Rodriguez, did the whole hand thing up to that boxer thing. And then she did it too. And she was yelling at her. So yeah, Jan's a dog. So, but I do think the power striking will look better in the judge's eyes. Minus 190, maybe not. But the decision props when they come out might be a single bet. But I do like Andrade here because I feel like she could match the volume of Yan. And Yan finishing her would be the way to go. But like Andrade has only lost to who? Shevchenko, Rose, and Wang. Right? So and Blanchfield, sorry, and Blanchfield. Blanchfield's up there. I don't know if Yan would have a great time with Blanchfield either, right? So I don't know, man. I feel like she'll keep the strikes up, and Yan couldn't finish the sandwich, man. Dude, no finishes in the entire time. That's my problem with it. She hasn't shown a propensity to show any killer instinct. That's my issue with her finishing Andrade. And Andrade is going to go out of her shield, like you said. And that's my issue. That's my issue. That's the biggest issue. And so I think it's an even fight where the volume's the same. Power is going to hold true.
Yeah, hey, a lot of people on Jessica's side. I get it. I just my few reasons are: one, I don't think Jessica's gonna wrestle, which she probably should, but I don't think she will. I don't think she's Esparza. Esparza, yes, finished her. I think it was the first round. I think first or second round, but
second round, it got her in like some kind of crucifix elbow shit to the side of the
she
head.
mounted her, I think, immediately in that fight. Mounted her and pounded away at her, just pounded on her. So I don't think Jessica's doing that. I don't think she has the technique Esparza has in the grappling. But I don't think that. And I just haven't seen Yan outstruck. I seriously haven't. She's a lot taller. Hey, maybe Andrade sparks her. Who knows? But I just think she's a lot bigger, and I have not seen her get outstruck on the feet yet. So until she gets outstruck on the feet, I'm taking her in a striking match. That's just how I feel.
That's fine,
All
man.
right.
It's women's MMA, guy.
Yeah.
Who
Oh yeah. No,
cares?
no. It's gonna be it'll be interesting. I actually like the fight. I think it's gonna be a good fight.
Hey, man, we can't always be on the same side because, yo, there's always different points to look at shit, right? So,
Damn right. Damn right. All right, moving on. We got the co-main event. We got Bilal, remember the name, Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns. This is so funny because I really like Gilbert Burns as a person. I really like him. Like and I don't like Bilal. I used to hate this guy. I thought he was the most boring fighter in the world. And I feel like Bilal is an absolute lock here. Call me crazy. I don't see any world that he's losing this fight. I think he's only getting better. He's coming into his own now. Like, what are his losses? He got starched by Luque like I don't know what, 5 years ago or whenever the hell that was. And then since then, they've actually ran the rematch back and he dominated it. So I think he learned from that knockout loss. Gilbert Burns isn't the most technical striker. Like he's got some power, but he's not a super technical striker. He's not submitting people off his back like crazy. I know he has this world-class jiu-jitsu game, but when's the last time he submitted somebody? Seriously. And like, if he's not the one on top, I don't think he's submitting anybody from the bottom. So I think Bilal rolls here. I think Muhammad's going to be better standing. I think he's going to be better on top. If he's on top, he's going to be on top. Like, I honestly can't see Burns winning this fight. And I like Gilbert Burns. I would love to see Gilbert Burns knock this guy out. Please do. I don't want Bilal to be the next champ. But I think Muhammad rolls here. Like, I feel really confident about it. And he's an underdog. He's plus money. So I actually have Muhammad on all of my tickets. I know that's crazy. You should never have someone on every single ticket, but I do. I have Bilal big here. So this guy's gonna make or break my night. But I think Bilal Muhammad rolls here. That's just me. That's what I see. I don't see a path to victory for Gilbert Burns. I don't. Maybe am I crazy or what are you seeing?
so you told me your opinion before I even like looked into the fight. That was last night when we were talking. And then I'm like, oh well, Gilbert has a chance. You know, he's the fresher fighter he just fought, whatever. And then I broke it down like this is a high level fight, to be honest with you, very high level. But Burns was on really short notice. Like he just fought it what a few weeks ago against Jorge Masvidal, and that's a red flag for sure, right? Because Burns before like lately, a gas tank issue was part of his problems that he ran into in the octagon. Now Bilal sports 35% takedown accuracy. You might like, oh, that's crap, but that's good for chain wrestlers. I talked about this earlier in our video. Chain wrestlers 35. Bilal is your epitome of a chain wrestler. Strike, 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 chain wrestle, strike, 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 chain wrestle, keep going. Like unlimited gas tank, unlimited gas tank. What gets me and what got me, I didn't even know, is the 92% takedown defense. That's phenomenal. Gilbert's takedown accuracy is only 37%, and he gets taken down at a 47% clip. So this is probably a striking battle unless Bilal wants to take him down and ride in his guard, which he wouldn't maybe. Like you said, it's not like Gilbert's like some crazy triangle specialist that is getting these guys like on when they're on top, triangling them from the bottom. The last submission I think was Neil Magny, and he dominated him standing, take him down. It was like real clinical on Gilbert's part. That's not going to happen here. He can't do that to Bilal. I don't see that. So in small spurts, I think that's okay for Bilal to take him down, beat him up a bit, let him up. Continue with the striking because he's going to have the more volume. Gilbert, aside from Chimaev fight, relatively very low volume. If you ever look at his fight metrics, he's thrown in the 40s, 3 round fights. Like that's not very good, right? You got to be at least like 60, 70 to be like a decent, okay. And then anything above 70, I feel like you have pretty decent volume. If he can't get this to the ground, Bilal will win. Like, it's like, yeah, because I don't see him knocking out Bilal. 2016 was that Luque fight you're talking about. 2016, this guy hasn't been knocked out since 2016. Burns has the power edge here, but Bilal has a fucking solid chin. So,
Yep.
like, for every 16 strikes he throws, Gilbert's going to throw 4. He might hit him with 1, and then it's not going to put him out. So, yeah, Bilal at plus 110 seems like a gift. Seems like a
But
gift.
call me crazy too, because like I know Bilal is a like decision machine, But this guy wants a title shot. Like he has that chip on his shoulder. He's been starting to talk shit lately just to try to give himself some self-promotion. And Gilbert Burns is actually a little bit chinny, especially later in fights. I know it sounds weird, but he is. And this is a 5-round fight. Call me fucking nuts, but I think Bilal Muhammad might knock him out. Like,
He knocked
seriously,
out
I
Sean
know
Brady. Like, I didn't think he was gonna knock out Sean Brady, and he knocked out Sean Brady. So
that's what I'm saying, man. He's got that chip on his shoulder. He wants a title shot. He's been calling for it forever. How are you going to get a title shot? Go finish someone. They didn't want to give him any big fights because he was boring. They don't want that as their champion. But if he's talking shit now, so they like that. He's got his big name here. 5 rounds to work. Gilbert Burns might gas a little bit, might be a little bit chinny. I think Bilal's going to knock him out, but the plus money is good enough for me. So for me, he's on a parlay ticket as plus money or whatever. Like that money line's good enough, but 5 rounds to work. I don't know if there's a prop out on that yet, because I know they usually drop the knockouts.
They didn't drop it yet. I looked. I am gonna put 2 units on that today to make sure that I get it plus money before it fucking flips, right? Because I feel it's so close. It'll be like that Ricky Simone Yang Song Yadong line, just keep closing in by the end of the week, right? So, like that's what I feel. Yeah. I mean, if he could keep this thing where he wants it below, it's all about like you look at the guy that dictates where the fight takes place, right? And that was my thing about flipping from Ricky Simone to Song. Because when I first did my breakdown, I thought, oh, he's gonna take him down the wrestling Kyler Phillips. Then I looked at Song and how he's been drilling the wrestling. So if this fight stays standing, who wins? Song, right?
Bilal.
And Bilal. So in this case, if this fight stays standing, who wins? Because I feel like Bilal's chin is rock solid, right? And the volume is rock solid. And then, like I said, Bilal is a gift at plus 110. Take it now, ladies and gents, because it will be gone. It will be gone.
You hate using the word lock in a fist fight, but to me, like, this is my lock of the card. Like, I've already put over $200 on him, and I'm probably going to put even more. I'll probably do more when the props drop.
They need to listen to this shit, because plus you're doing this on a plus 100 or whatever he is lock. Listen to that, folks. He locked a 1 plus 100. So like that's big time, man. Like I never lock any plus money. So to say that, well, I'm gonna take a shot with you. Definitely taking a shot with you. I'm taking a shot with you, bro.
That line's gonna get hammered, so get in while you can. We told you. Remember, we told you. All right, moving on. We got the main event, the Funk Master, Aljamain Sterling versus the King of Cringe, Henry Cejudo. It's a great fight. I'll tell you right now, I'm biased. I love Henry Cejudo. I love the king. I love the King of Cringe. I love this guy. I love him. So my heart says Henry can do this. My head says no, he can't. And the only reason I say that is strictly because the time off. Like but I think Henry Cejudo is capable of anything. Like this is an Olympic gold medalist. These guys are built different. It's a different level of competitiveness. Like they have a different competitive edge to your average fighter. So Henry Cejudo is this very special athlete in my mind. So I give him extreme props. Aljamain Sterling, I've hated on this guy forever. Like I was so pissed when he won the belt off Petr Yan there or whatever. I fucking hated that shit. But man, he's slowly but surely winning me over. Like he is effective. Like I thought he was the worst champ. I'm like, this guy sucks. How the hell is he champ? Man, he's good. He's good at what he does. But is he going to get Henry Cejudo down? Like if he gets him down, nobody can stop his takedowns. But Henry should be able to stuff him. I mean, Petr did pretty good stuffing. I think he stuffed like 14 of 16 takedowns in the first fight.
And took him down too. Like 9 times, 7 times, like multiple times.
That's what I'm saying. Like on paper, Henry should be able to stuff the takedowns. And then if it plays out on the feet, you got to think Henry has the power advantage. He's got the heavier hands. He's a lot shorter. So can he close that distance and get it inside the pocket? I don't know. I like to think Henry can do this. I love Henry Cejudo. I think that's his path. He has to stuff the takedown, get inside the pocket, and find the chin. And can he do that? I think so, but I don't know because he's been away for so long. I don't know what I'm getting here. I really don't know. Is he going to gas out? I don't know. I mean, he shouldn't. He's like I said, he's a special athlete. He shouldn't, but he's been away. So it's so strange because I've never not bet on a main event. Like I always bet on the main event. And right now I have 8 tickets placed. I'm going to be posting them in a bit. And I don't have a single bet on this main event. I have not bet the main event. So I'm sure if I smash some of them early, I'm going to bet, it. I don't know. I don't know. And it's great that it's a pick 'em. So if you do feel strong about someone, you're going to get good return on it. I don't know. I don't know. What are you confident? What do you let's hear what you have to say.
It's like, so taking the 4-year layoff away, not caring about it and not thinking about it, just breaking this down by numbers and who these fighters are, then yes, I feel confident about one side. If I'm getting the same fighter that went out in his shield back when he retired 4 years ago. So if I'm getting the Henry Cejudos from 4 years ago, which I feel like the skills are still there, then yeah, I want fucking Triple C all day long. I fucking hate the way he talks on TV and hate the way he takes interviews. But man, he's a fucking good fighter, bro. Anyway, Sterling, barred in controversy. His takedown accuracy, first of all, is 24%. His takedown defense is 41%. Triple C's accuracy is about 30%. But yeah, he's a chain wrestler. He's a wrestler, right? So like that's pretty good. So he shoots all the time. But the takedown defense of 93%. Aljamain Sterling will not be taking Triple C to the ground if that stat holds true. Then this will be a striking match. Aljamain has the reach and height advantage on them. But Triple C has been known to get inside the pocket more than once. Yan got inside the pocket more than once. He won that second Yan fight, Aljamain Sterling, simply based on the wrestling and the control on the ground. I still think he lost it personally because he lost me some cash. I'm so dumb anyways. I should have bet on him. But he was winning that first fight and he cost me money because I had Yan to win that fight. And Yan was cruising at that point. And then he fought TJ with a bum shoulder. So I don't take anything too much from any of those defenses. So to me, this is his like first defense after winning the title from, because that Dillashaw fight, if I put money on Dillashaw because it was like the same thing. If the old Dillashaw came through, then he would have beaten the new Aljamain Sterling, right? But like obviously the injuries have caught up with that guy. But in this case, Triple C shows nothing on Instagram. I've been just talking to him. He looks ripped. He's a little short guy though, eh?
You say Henry looks ripped?
Yeah.
Okay, because I see that I haven't seen that. Like I thought he was like looking heavy for a while. Like, but
no, he's
I
looking pretty good, man. He's looking pretty good. Aljamain always looks ripped because he's always dehydrated. He's a weight bully.
Sterling is massive. Like the guy
right,
is
yeah.
massive.
He's a weight bully, right? So he's always looking ripped because he's dehydrated when he takes that weight, and then he just bulks up after. I feel like it's going to be a striking match unless Henry chooses to go into Aljamain's guard, which isn't such a bad thing because Yan sat in guard against Aljamain a few times, you know what I mean? And Aljamain didn't really put up too much from his back, right? In that first Yan fight I'm talking about, even in that second Yan fight, there was a round right after Aljamain backpacked him where Yan took him down for the whole fucking round, rode that out, right? So there is Triple C can do that. Triple C is the more technical fighter, striking wise, based on past fights. He has more power than Aljamain Sterling because I feel like Aljamain Sterling isn't knocking anyone out. He's more of a volume guy because all those volume fights against like Pedro Munoz and all that stuff that Aljamain did, those were his better performances. The last few I think have been lacking, even though he's winning. Striking will be pretty it's the only problem is Triple C all the time trying to close the distance in the pocket, right? The layoff is a red flag if you really want to think about it, but he's an athlete at the highest level, like you said. He feels the competitiveness. I feel like he'll show up. He's going to show up. And if the skills are still there, I feel like Triple C versus Mighty Mouse all over again here in this one. Except he's not a Mighty Mouse. He's more like a mighty, like, bigger thing than a mouse. Mighty Rat.
He's the king. The king is back.
Yeah, Mighty Rat versus Cejudo. I mean, he'll be able to control and wrestle with Aljo. I feel like Aljo can be wrestled. And Cejudo's a smart fighter. He's going to use what he can. And he'll fight. He'll strike when he has to, and he'll wrestle when he has to. I get Triple C minus 115. I'm gonna take a shot on Henry at some point in the week.
I think if you wait, I think Sterling's gonna end up as the favorite. Like I think
Yeah,
Cejudo, you're gonna get plus money on him, I think. And like I said, I love Henry. I love his cringiness. Like at first, if you don't really know him that well, you'd be like, what the hell is this guy saying? I think it's hilarious. I don't know. He grew on me. And if he wins this fight, he's got to be in like the GOAT conversation. Seriously, like this guy, he's a winner, man. He's a born winner. He just fucking wins, like Olympic gold medalist, 2 UFC belts. If he comes back after a layoff and beats Sterling, like, man, that's incredible. Like, and I hope Henry does it. I mean, he's got the path. I mean, stuff the takedowns and find the chin. So the path is there. I don't know if he has the gas to do it. I don't know how long, if he can go 5 still. I don't know. And I don't know if he wants to shoot takedowns or not. I mean, he should be okay on top, but I just don't know if he wants to even risk possibly getting swept and ending up on the bottom. Like, I don't know. I mean, to me, stuff the takedowns, find the chin. That's the path. I haven't bet it yet. It's a good fight, though. When I first looked at this card, I wasn't excited. I didn't think it was great. And then today came and I started looking at it closer and started writing down which fights I was betting on and everything. I think it's actually a pretty good card. It's a pretty decent card. I'm excited. And I feel like this is actually one of my more confident cards. Like I'm going to post some bets soon. I feel really good about them. I feel really good about Bilal. I feel really good about Mavsar. I feel really good about Kennedy. Like those 3 pieces, I think they win all day. And then maybe build around them. But what do you think?
those 3. Yeah, Kennedy. I love Kennedy in his fight. I love Chaos. I said I feel like this guy. This is one of those times. He's just gonna show. I love Evloev because I feel like styles make fights in that case. And Bilal. That would be my dog too, is the card. So those 4 picks right there, you put your betting around there. But there's some good other things once the props drop, like Evloev, Bryce Mitchell, over 2.5, right? If it's like a minus, it'll be a good parlay piece. Bilal over 2.5, over 3.5, over 4.5, whatever you want to do. I feel like the Yan fight goes over 2 rounds as well. What else do we have here? Jordan Cron, like finishing the distance, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I feel like those are things for
Ribeiro
Dober.
knockout.
Ribeiro knockout, right? Well, you got to play those guys that way, right? You know what I mean? So what else? There's lots of things I like Estevam and Zhalgas. That's an over waiting to happen, right? And like I'm confident that fight goes over 2.5. Well, over 1.5. Very confident that that prelim goes over 1.5. Zhalgas won't get finished that quickly. This guy's not a starcher. So yeah, those are spots I feel like the overs. So I'm gonna mix some overs in with my favorites. Make a few parlays. I'm gonna play Bilal as a single. Hope I hit that because then I'll just roll whatever I went over on Triple C for those particular 2 because they're co-main and main. I'll just roll 2 single bets.
Yeah.
One on Bilal, one on Triple C.
I've been pretty conservative the last 2 fight nights because with the fight nights, you don't know those fighters as well. Like it's more low level fights. I feel really good about this one. I'm not telling anybody to go spend a ton of money or whatever, but I honestly think this is the card to make money, man. Like I feel like this is going to be a really good night. We notoriously do really well on the pay-per-views, and I think this is going to be another one, man. These are the cards that we smash. Those low-level cards, man, underdogs always come through and shit like that. Too many intangibles that you just don't know. I'm confident. I feel like we're going to smash this one. I feel really good about it. I'm really excited for Saturday. So yeah, let's do it. Coming up, we're going to give you a slide here with our chart like we always do. Some of our conservative picks, some of our high-risk, high-reward picks. We're also going to throw up some parlays, some YOLO parlays. We can't put any props up yet because they haven't dropped, but maybe we'll do another video Friday, maybe when the props drop. If not, we've told you in these breakdowns anyways what you should be looking for. But yeah, guys, let's fucking smash this card. And yeah, until Saturday, take care of yourselves. Enjoy the fights. There's also Canelo Saturday. Look out for that. Record it. Watch it after the UFC. It's going to be a great night of fights. And let's kill it like we always do.
All right, cool, man. Have a good night, everyone,
Yep.
and we'll drop a little Canelo video as well too, just because I like the guy.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.